Welcome back, Queen, to another episode of The Creatress of Freedom. I'm Annie, and I am your host. I'm so excited to be dropping on in with you. Sorry if my earring was bashing against the microphone then. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you join us, and I'm celebrating you for taking some time out of your day to tune on in and allow yourself to raise your vibration, because that's what happens as soon as you're in my energy. So I'm super excited to have you here. And if you're an OG, you know I love you. So welcome back. Thanks for being here. I love that you're here with me once again. Let's delve into today's topic around resistance within the business. So, this is something that comes up a lot inside my containers, like so much. And it's also something that I work through too. Like, I never ever teach on something that I've never worked through myself. That's just with the integrity being my core value, one of my core values. That is something I would never do. So, I only ever teach on something that I've ever been through myself. And so resistance has definitely shown up in my business as well, when I was a salon owner, and then also mentoring too. And I think that it's a really important topic that we talk about is like, why is the resistance showing up? And it's like you know that you want your next level, right? You know that it's there. You can feel it. You can smell it. You're like, yes, it's there. It's so close. But then you just don't have the motivation to like do the thing that you need to do, right? And you know what you need to do. Like, this is the other frustrating part, is that you know that you need to do the marketing, you know that you need to do the tracking, you know that you need to do the financials, you know that you need to do the team meetings, you know that you need to get that staff training organized, right? You know what you need to do. But there's just something that stops you from doing it. This is something that stops you from just going to that next stage. Or maybe you like sit at your computer and you're just like, I'm blank. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. There is no content coming through right now. So fuck it. I'm going to go and hang out the washing. Even though I hate the washing, I'm going to do the washing, because at least that way I'll be doing something and I'll be seen as productive. So I want you to use this episode today to take inventory, right? Because the reason that there's resistance showing up, there's a couple of things that could be happening here. And so without me like actually like having a conversation with you and coaching you through it to see exactly what's going on, I'm going to share it from both perspectives. And then maybe you can tune into yourself and maybe you can ask yourself which one it is, okay? So the first one is that if there's resistance there, it sometimes can be that something's out of alignment. Okay. So maybe there's something that you think you have to do that maybe is not really what you want to do within the business. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want to do your numbers, so you just don't do it, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that maybe there's something within your business model that feels like it's out of alignment. Maybe it's the type of services that you're doing. Maybe it is the type of clients that you're attracting right now. Maybe it is the type of people that are coming into your space. Maybe it's the staff that you've got, right? Maybe there's just something that's just is out of alignment. And if there's something out of alignment within the business, then you're going to have resistance to do anything on the business. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about, is like, is there something that's out of alignment? And so I want you to take inventory on that. Ask yourself, how does it feel in your body when I ask you that and you're listening to that? You're like, is there resistance within the business? Yes, there is. What feels out of alignment for me right now? Out of alignment is actually that staff member that I've got. Fuck me. They are draining my energy. I feel like I've tried so hard to get them to step up, and I've done everything that I can to support them, and I've done training, and I just don't think that they even really want to be here. Right. And so you can then check in and it's like, okay, well, if this staff member is actually not really following the way that I want the business vision and mission to go, then perhaps this staff member might need to go. Right. And so that's why you've got the resistance, because there's other aspects of the business that are out of alignment. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to share as well is that sometimes, more than most, we have resentment towards the business. Okay. And so the resistance comes because of the resentment. And so the resentment comes because you are finding yourself having no time for yourself, having no time or space for you to do the things that you want to do. And there's a part of you that feels like you need to be doing all of the things on the business. And then because you don't really know what are the things that you need to be doing on the business, you kind of procrastinate and you fuck around, and then you waste a whole day and you haven't really moved the needle forward. But then you also didn't do anything for yourself either. And so the resentment is building within the business. And often we as human beings, we want the feeling of instant gratification, right? And this is something that I talk about a lot in my containers. It's like we want the instant gratification straight away. And sometimes doing the things on the business doesn't give you that instant gratification like it does when you're working with clients, right? So as an example, you do the service on a client, the client pays you, bam, there's the instant gratification. You spend time on your marketing or on your numbers or on the business, and there's no instant gratification, right? So because there's no instant gratification, you end up feeling like it's pointless, it's worthless. And then you also don't love doing it because you also feel like that time that you need to spend on the business, because you've associated the two being different, time on the business and time on clients, you've separated the two out instead of just making them be one and it's all work on the business, right? Because when you're not working with clients, you really, really want to go and do something for yourself, but you don't, because you know that you need to do things on the business. But then you don't do the things on the business because it's like almost like a spoiled little brat, right? It's like a spoiled child that wants to be in control, wants to be like, well, I know that I need to do that, but I'm not going to do that because this is what I want to do instead. So it's really, really important. And this is something that I teach a lot in my containers as well, is to make sure that you have a self-care practice, a daily self-care practice. Now that could be journaling, that could be walking, that could be tunes on and you dancing your ass off, shaking that booty. It could be going for a swim. It could be journaling. It could be pulling some oracle cards. It could be just sitting in stillness, right? It could be meditating. I can't remember if I said that or not, but meditating. So it's maybe it's running a bath halfway through the day, right? Like just something that just fills your cup up. And if you actually did this consistently and actually made this part of your daily routine, as if you were to brush your teeth or have breakfast or make a coffee, like if that was part of your daily routine, I guarantee you that you will actually want to spend time on the business. Because the reason you're not wanting to spend time on the business is because of the resentment that you hold. You went into business so that it could create the freedom and the lifestyle where you could do whatever you wanted. And most of you probably don't have that, right? Most of you don't have that sense of freedom. You feel very restricted. You feel stuck to your business. It's not actually creating the dream life that you once envisioned. And because it's not creating that, you hold resentment towards the business. But what happens is so many of you get caught up in the I need the business to do XYZ before I can take the time off, before I can go and have a massage, before I can do this. And that's where we've got it backwards, because you actually need to put yourself first. And once you do that, then the business ripples, right? Because you are your business, not the business is you. So if you start to add these self-care rituals and practices into your daily routine, when you do go to sit down, you won't be like, oh, I just wish that I could go and have a coffee right now. Or I just wish that I could go and catch up with a girlfriend, right? Trust me when I say this. I know that it sounds crazy. I know that it's completely against everything that you've probably ever been taught, because so many people we're so used to hustle culture, right? We're so used to the doing, and not necessarily the being. And the being is actually the things that you really want to do. It's the things that you want to do for yourself. It's the going and catching up with a girlfriend and having a coffee. I guarantee that if you went and did that and then you came home and you were like, okay, now I need to do some work, you would easily jump into the work and you would smash it out. I guarantee that, because you filled your cup up first and your life is not revolved around the business. I know that it's challenging. I know that it's super hard for you to start to change the way that you've done business. But I also want to remind you that the way you're doing business right now is not working. And how do I know that? Because you wouldn't be listening to this episode. You would have picked a different one, right? So if it's not working, then maybe you could challenge yourself to do things differently. And even the women in my paid communities, they also are challenged with this because it's so different to what we've been taught about business, right? It's so different. It's completely changing your entire belief system about how to make money. It's like, what, I can go and have lunch with my girlfriend and I'm going to make money? That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. But when you learn and you understand and you embody the energetics and the law of attraction, that's when it makes sense, because you're like, oh, I get it. So I use this same principle in my own business to date, right? I have my list of things to do. I have a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility, though, always on my calendar for that very reason, because we are cyclic human beings and we never know how we're going to wake up feeling. We might not feel great one day and we had this list of things that we needed to do, but then we also might end up with our period as well. And so that's a whole nother conversation, right? Of learning and understanding your periods and working your business to sync in with your periods. But it's really important, like it's so important to really start saying no to people and start saying yes to you, to really start putting yourself first. What are the things that fill your cup up? What are the self-care practices that you want to start incorporating on a daily basis? It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be 5 hours. It doesn't have to be 20 hours. It can literally be 5 minutes where you just allow yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do. And then once you've done that, I guarantee that you'll feel a lot more energized because you've raised your vibration. And you've raised your vibration because you've done the things that create joy. You've done the things that you love. And those are at the higher end of the frequency chart. So the more that you tap into those feelings, the more you're going to want to spend the time on the business. So tap into that and then start focusing on the business. Like I said, I know it's going to challenge you, but the reality is that what you're doing right now is not working. So let's try something different. And if that doesn't work, which that is not going to happen, I know that for a fact. Yeah, I totally know that for a fact. I'm like, I'm not even going to go down that path because I know for a fact that it is going to change absolutely everything for you. So, like I was sharing before, this is something that I do for myself, right? Where I allow myself the freedom and the white space, which is why it's important for you to have white space on your calendar so that you have that flexibility. And so maybe this looks like you not starting with your clients until 10 a.m. so that you can have that morning to yourself. Maybe it's you finishing instead of with clients at 7 p.m., you actually finish at 6 p.m., but you give yourself an hour before you go home. So that's between 6 and 7 p.m., you do something that fills your cup up. Maybe it is go for a walk around the lake before you head home. Yeah, it's really about prioritizing your time and really making sure that you have that time allocated for you. Because the more time that you spend on yourself, the less resistance you're going to feel within the business. So if this was supportive, I would love to hear. If you've had a big takeaway and you're like, oh shit, yeah, the resistance is because something is out of alignment, or the resistance is actually coming from this place of I haven't done anything that I wanted to do for myself for a very fucking long time and I feel resentment towards the business. Amazing. Come and share with me. I would love to hear from you. If you desire some more support around evolving into this new level and evolving and getting some support into stepping into this new level of being in business. Like it's so different to the ways that we've been taught. then this is the type of work that we definitely do inside Evolve. And so here is your invitation to head to the show notes and to fill out the application. There's also a link there for more information as well. If you want to see more information, go and check it out. If you have questions, my DMs are always open, but the applications are currently open. I don't know how long I'm going to leave the applications open for right now, but it's very much an intuitive thing that I feel. So I know that there is a few people that are feeling the call, that have got a toe dipped in. So here's your invitation to put the whole foot and the other foot in and come and join your beautiful sisters. They're waiting for you. They are so excited to see you. We just recently joined 3 new babes in, and oh my gosh, there's so much love, there's so much support, there's so much vulnerability, there's so much growth, there's so much expansion. It's just the most beautiful container for the hair and beauty industry. And I truly, truly believe that it's going to be revolutionary for our industry. And you are going to be mad to not get into it, because honestly, with the amount of content that I keep adding into it, the price is definitely going up. There's no doubt about that. So I don't know when, but I know that it's pretty fucking powerful, this container. So come on in. I'd love to see you. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the DM. And if this has been supportive, come and let me know as well. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you so soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.